I'm Danny Gregory, and I am a student in storytelling here at Sketchbook School. And I want to share with you the fact that I'm a good boy and I did my homework. And so let me tell you a bit about what I thought about beforehand, because this project that Kosha has given us involves a fair amount of thinking. I think it's a design project as much as anything. It involves drawing, of course, but it also involves thinking how to best communicate something clearly. One of my inspirations was IKEA. IKEA, I've looked at a lot of these instruction manuals. I've built a lot of things from IKEA before. And what I like about their instructions is that they're very clear and they're non-verbal. There's barely any words, in part because they make these for international audiences. But they're really good at breaking things down to clear. There are times, honestly, when I've cursed IKEA's manuals because there are occasionally things where you don't quite understand it. But generally, they're really good at breaking it down into little clear sections. And there's not a lot of humor in them, but they are clear. So that was my inspiration, was to think, how can I tell a story without words? And I think I succeeded in that part of it, just pictures. And then another thing that I thought to myself was, how can I design this so that it fits clearly on one page and that things have different proportions based on how important they are? And also, how can I make it an overall pleasing looking thing? And can it have some energy, some motion that kind of propels you through it? And so this took a fair amount of thinking and a fair amount of revisions. So I want to take you through some of my thinking, the sketches that I did. And, my topic, the thing that I want to explain, is something I think that we're all reasonably familiar with, which is how to do a class at Sketchbook School. What's the process of the different steps of taking a lesson at Sketchbook School? So that was my jumping off point, something that I know fairly well and that hopefully you're learning too if you don't know it already. Okay, let me take you through my thinking process. All right, so here's the very first thing that I did, is I made a list of all the different steps. And I thought, okay, let me try and explain, let me just list out all the different things I have to do. There's quite a lot of them. There may be too many. I may have to cut them as I go. So then I have this, my first drawing, my first sketch. And, I wanted to make it kind of cartoony. So there are these different steps. And I kind of gave up here because I realized I was running out of space. I wasn't going to be able to accomplish all these different things. And that probably I shouldn't make everything the same size, because otherwise I might as well make like a comic book or something like that. And I want to really have a different approach to design. So that wasn't good enough. I also was struggling with how to illustrate Sketchbook School, So I kind of made this sort of computer that looked like a building, but that didn't really work very well. I knew that I wanted to involve cups of tea. So there are cups of tea, and those will continue to be an important part of this. So then my next step was, let me just go through here. I thought that it would probably be best to have two kind of dominant drawings. Two drawings and everything else would kind of go around them. And so what I did is I had one drawing that represented a computer with somebody talking on the computer, a video that you'd be watching. It has the Sketchbook School logo, so you'd know Sketchbook School. And then other things, and then the other thing would be the book here, the sketchbook that has the drawing in it. And so I thought everything can revolve around those two main elements. But I was still struggling, as you can see, with the size of them and what they are, and I kind of ran into the edge here, and I knew there would be arrows, and then I was very pleased with myself when I came up with this idea of a log that would represent logging in. But of course I had to write the word log on it, and that's a bit of a cheat, because honestly, why draw a log and write the word log? But I don't know, I accept my limitations. I was also quite pleased with this, which represents me in the shower. And at first I drew myself facing the camera, or facing the viewer, and then I realized that was probably not good for a PG-rated school, and so I turned myself around and drew my butt. But we'll get to that in a minute. So then, this is kind of my overall sketch for just the proportion of things. I knew big with a circle of little things around it. And then I started, this is another thing I wrestled with a lot. I wanted to represent the fact that after you do a drawing in your book, you take a picture of it with a camera. And I went back and forth on, here you can see, like I went back and forth on which side the hand should be on. And I knew that I wanted a JPEG, the word JPEG, to come out of it. But then it was going to go into class, sketchbooks, well, it's too many words. That was kind of cheating. This is a bit more elegant, and it looks a bit more like a hand holding it, but it still wasn't really working that great. So another thought that I had was, I can do little sound effects like snap, maybe. And again, this circular motion, because I wanted to have it be that you take a picture, and then it becomes a JPEG, and then you take that up to the school. And I started representing the school this way. So it's kind of vaguely like a schoolhouse. It's like a building with a roof, but that's the computer. And I would try to educate people on that. And then I had this idea for like a little, I don't know if you can see it here, a little group of people looking at paintings, and one of them having a bubble that says, "I love that." So that's a bit of a mess. So anyway, I did lots of different sketches, as you can see, trying to get to my eventual piece. And let me take you through that piece now. Hold on. How to take a course at Sketchbook School, cup of tea. And we come over here, and we start here in the upper left-hand corner, because that's how things start. And we see class today. There's an email that's arrived that tells you class today, and takes you to this thing that looks sort of like a schoolhouse and sort of like a computer, and it says sbs.com, which takes you to the log in. Get it? Log, the word in, and that takes you to the computer with the teacher, and she has a little F there for faculty, and she is going to tell you, well, what is she telling you? She's telling you how to draw, and then she's giving you notes, and she's giving you a little gift at the end, and she's giving you your transcript to download, and then she tells you, do your homework. So what happens here is the homework is full of questions. And so to indicate that we're going to spend some time doing this, here's a calendar, and the pages of the calendar are flying off to indicate a few days have passed. And then meanwhile, there I am in the shower. You can see that I'm suddenly having a great idea. Eureka! So we take this on, and what do we get? We get, there's the homework. It's a little simple. What happens? Oh yes, it's surrounded by various art supplies, some watercolors and pencils, a pen, another cup of tea. And there is the phone, and the click, the hand's holding it, takes a picture. That takes us to the JPEG, which takes us down back to the little schoolhouse computer with the sbs.com. And there you can see the homework on the computer page. And now we come down here, it's a gallery, and there's a bunch of people looking at all these great pictures, and they love them. And so when they love them, it becomes an email that comes to me that says, they love what you did. So I go back onto the schoolhouse computer, and I look at there, and there's a whole bunch of people saying that they love stuff, and so I participate in that and tell them that I love their work and give them comments and suggestions and encouragement. And that makes me want to draw and draw and draw and draw and draw and keep going on until I go all the way back up here and I repeat what I did and I watch the video again. So that's the loop. And there you see, there it is, the whole shooting match, the whole shebang, taped to my kitchen wall. Okay. Well, that was a lot of fun, and it took a bit more time than I thought, so my camera work isn't really that terrific today, but here it is. Here's my whole thing. I'll post it to share it with you. But I really enjoyed doing this assignment. Thanks very much, Kosha, for teaching us how to draw a manual, and I look forward to doing some more of these. And maybe I can leave this as a piece of instruction for new students at Sketchbook School. So it has some utility, as art always should, of course. Well, not really, but thanks. I hope you're having fun with your homework too.